Well, if you've seen any of my recent videos on the BR series of rifles from CMMG, the Descent series, you'll know that I've become a huge fan of these kind of rifles, and I live in a free state where I can own any type of rifle. These are just fun rifles to shoot. And wait till you see later in this video some shooters who try out the BR4 for the first time and their reaction.
Oh, I like that.
But could the CMMG BR47, which is their 7.62x39 rifle, replace the AK47 or better yet the SKS rifle? It is much more like an SKS because it does have a fixed stock and no pistol grip, but I think you're going to see that this rifle is so much better designed than the SKS, and it might actually be better than the AK47 for a lot of different reasons. Let me show you its features. Now, the BR47 obviously takes advantage of the cheaper and much more available 7.62x39 ammo. This stuff is available pretty much anywhere milk is sold, and it's a great 30 caliber round that is a fun plinking round, but also a pretty decent hunting and or self-defense round. We've got millions of rounds of this stuff in the US because of SKS and AK style rifles, but I think this might be a better designed rifle, and after you watch this video, I think you might agree that this could be a really cool option for those of you looking for a rifle in 7.62x39. Now, as I mentioned, I'm a fan of the BR Descent series rifles from CMMG. I first got my hands on the BR4, which is their 5.56 rifle. Oh my God, that was such a fun and easy shooting gun that I threw it into my truck, and it has been my truck gun ever since. Then I got my hands on their BR3 Descent. That's their 308 version of this rifle. I was blown away by how soft and flat shooting that was for a 308 rifle, and I ended up buying that one from them. So I figured it was time to try the BR47 and add that to the collection, sort of round out my BR Descent collection from CMMG. And God knows I've got a lot of 7.62x39 laying around. So who is this rifle for? Well, it's a 49 state legal rifle. That's right, 49 states. Now, a lot of my viewers from Massachusetts and Illinois say, well, this is not legal where I live. Believe it or not, I did some research. This rifle is legal in Massachusetts and Illinois. It is legal in 49 states. And guess what? Sorry, Washington. Washington is the only state where this rifle is not legal. Can you believe that Washington has out-California'd California? Unbelievable. This rifle is also for anyone who is bored with the AK or AR pattern rifles. I often get comments when I do videos on this type of rifle. People think this is trying to replace the AR-15 or the AK-47. This is in no way a replacement. This is just a redesign of a rifle pattern. It's completely unique. It's its own thing. And in a minute we'll get into the operation of this, and I'll show you exactly why this is such a different kind of rifle. Now, I have a wall full of AR-15s. I'm really not even sure how many AR-15s, AR-10 style rifles I have. And I've got a couple of AK-47 rifles too. I love them, and I'm not getting rid of them. But this is a so much different rifle, and it's so fun to shoot. It can't even really be compared to those two kind of rifles. Now, here's why the BR47 is so much better than the SKS, and might actually kick the AK-47 in the nuts. It's a lighter rifle. At 8.6 pounds, this rifle is so much lighter than my Zastava M70, which comes in at 9.8 pounds. Now, the BR47 is a little bit longer. Even though it has a 16-inch barrel, it comes in at a total length of 39.2 inches, and that's because of this Magpul Remington 870 buttstock that comes on every one of these BR-style rifles. It takes any AK-47 magazine and shoots any 7.62x39 ammo. Now, I had a few different magazines to try with this rifle. I ended up sticking with the Magpul magazines. They just inserted and ejected so much easier than the other magazines, and they are so much easier to load than the other magazines. I'll tell you, one of the magazines I got rid of was a cheap Chinese KCI magazine, an all-metal magazine that barely fit in the magazine well. It scraped the paint off the magazine because it was such a tight tolerance. It was very difficult to insert or eject, and the feeding was unreliable. Again, don't ever go for these cheap magazines, and I don't know why I keep falling for them. Now, CMMG ships the BR47 with two 10-round magazines because this is originally designed to go to those restrictive states. But remember, you can order any Magpul AK-47 magazine, and it will work beautifully in this rifle. The BR47 has a really long, very lightweight 15-inch M-LOK rail that CMMG has designed with M-LOK cuts at the 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock position. So you've got a million different options for mounting all kinds of different crap to your rifle. In addition to this rail at the 12 o'clock position that mates up with the Picatinny rail on the top of the receiver. So you've got lots of room up there for lights and lasers and optics on the top of your rifle as well. The offhand charging handle that is protruding from the left side of this rifle has become a favorite of mine. I actually prefer it now to the AR-15 two-finger charging handles. This offhand charging handle on the left side of the rifle is so much easier for those right-handed shooters of us from here in the US than is the awkward AK47 charging handle on the bolt, the right side of the rifle. Now, if you've ever shot an AK, you know that you either have to reach underneath the rifle and activate that bolt the cool guy way with your offhand, keeping your firing hand on that pistol grip the whole time, or you've got to do it the European way, remove your firing hand from the pistol grip, rack that bolt on the right side of the rifle, and put your hand back on the pistol grip. Either way, this BR47 is so much easier and more intuitive for those of us in the US to operate. Also on the left side or the off side of this rifle is a bolt lock bolt release. Again, in a very intuitive place for those of us raised on AR-15 rifles. It has an AK-style paddle magazine release. And again, this one extends out a little bit further, I think, than most AK-47s, but the magazine release is so easy to use, I really don't even need to explain this. Moving back to crossbolt safety, which is normal for a lot of us who were raised on traditional rifles and shotguns before the AR-15s became super popular. The crossbolt safety is very intuitive, very easy to use, but it's also very confusing. And still, with my third CMMG BR style rifle, the crossbolt style safety is the one place that I still fumble a little bit. So I need to train myself a little bit more on this rifle, but pretty soon I'm going to have this down. Now moving back, you'll see the Remington 870 stock, as I explained earlier. This is a very tough and very durable stock, and again, this rifle can take any Remington 870 stocks. Now the BR47 has a very unique operating system. I think it's actually an ingenious design. It's a bufferless rifle, obviously. That's why we don't have a pistol grip and a buffer extending underneath our cheek like AR-15s or AR-10s. Instead of a buffer, we have these dual rods which are wrapped in springs, and that's attached to an oversized, extremely heavy, over-engineered bolt. I'll show you in this video a simulation of how this bolt operates. The charging handle operates from the front of the receiver, obviously. It pushes the face of this bolt back against these dual recoil springs, and under fire, this bolt is pushed back by the gas system and is returned to its locked position by these huge springs. I should mention that this charging handle has a unique shape to it, and it also rides in a little channel with that exact shape, so it can't twist or bend, and it doesn't need any kind of springs to operate against it like a lot of these ranch rifle style guns do. You'll notice a traditional looking lower receiver, although you'll notice here the drawbar that connects the trigger to the hammer and sear. And the rest of this, including that hammer and sear, look a whole lot like an AR-15 or an AR-10. This rifle is taken apart by these two large takedown pins, exactly like an AR-15, and it's a very easy rifle to disassemble. You can see here the cross bolt safety in operation, and you can see how it's kind of awkwardly located above and to the rear of the trigger, up near the knuckle of your shooting hand. And therefore I found it a little difficult to operate, and especially to re-engage after shooting. You pretty much need to come up underneath the rifle and press it from the opposite side. The BR47 comes with a 16-inch barrel and a 1 in 10 twist. The muzzle brake on this thing is just flat out amazing. It's a 5/8 by 24 muzzle brake, so it's easily swapped to something else, but I can't figure why you would want to. This is a 6-port muzzle brake, very similar to the other two rifles I have, and CMMG has somehow designed this muzzle brake with some sort of sorcery, because the thing just kills recoil. Now the 5.56 rifle that I used of theirs, the BR4, virtually had no recoil. And at one point during our range day, I swapped the BR47 out and handed Megan my BR4, which again rides in my truck, and she was amazed by how flat that rifle shot. I don't think I charged, yeah. Same goofy safety.
Uh-huh. Oh. Oh, I like that.
No, I didn't want you to get...
I then handed the rifle over to Noah, the camera guy, and a fresh magazine of ammunition, and got the same reaction.
The plate's rotating.
The ability to come right back to...
Moving back from that amazing brake that CMMG calls their zeroed muzzle brake, you're going to see an adjustable gas block here at the mid-length position. This adjustable gas lock is easily tuned from the front of the receiver without disassembly using a long Allen key. The mid-length gas block holds a mostly straight gas tube.
It's one of life's mysteries, sir.
Because again, this is a direct impingement gun, and the gas is blown back against the face of the bolt to operate the system. Now, when I first got this rifle, I took it out of its box, I threw it into a gun bag with my Zastava M70, and I drove down to the Jim County Gun Range in Emmett, Idaho, where I met up with renowned instructor Megan Porcher. Now, Megan knows just about everything there is to know about pistol and rifle training. However, she'd never seen a rifle like this. Well, I gotta say, she loved the rifle. She found it very flat shooting and loved shooting it. We gave her several hundred rounds to shoot that day, and she mastered this rifle in a very short amount of time.
Very enjoyable shooting. I've never shot one of these before. It was just super simple, straightforward, easy to shoot. The muzzle brake on the front does a great job, and yeah, I'd recommend it. I'd say give it a try.
Now, the BR47 comes with a lifetime guarantee from CMMG. That's a neat little feature to have on a rifle that operates on a new system like this. We don't know 20, 30,000 rounds down the road how this rifle's going to hold up. It appears to be extremely well built, but we've got a lifetime guarantee right there at the factory if anything goes wrong. Now, if you missed this somewhere else in the video, the BR series rifles are becoming some of my favorites. They are just so much more fun to shoot than any of the other rifles on the wall. And again, about the highest recommendation I can give this rifle is that I have made it my truck gun even when I'm operating here in the free state of Idaho, a place where I could take any rifle on my wall for self-defense, but I will choose my CMMG BR series rifles every time. So while the BR47 might not replace the AK47, it's a damn cool rifle, and if you're a fan of the 7.62x39 cartridge like I am, and you just want to try something new, this is definitely something you should check out. I hope you guys like this quick tour around the BR47 rifle. If you're in the market for a rifle like this, I think you're really going to love it. You just really have to try this thing to see how smooth and fun this thing is to shoot. Now, although they're a little more expensive than an SKS, and they're even a little bit pricier than AK47s, which have really gone up crazy in price over the years, in my humble opinion, the BR47 is one of the better 7.62x39 rifles that you can own. Hey, I want to give a huge thanks out to Megan and Noah for coming out to the range and meeting me, working with me on the camera and on the rifle. I appreciate their time and expertise. And I think you guys should go give them a follow on Instagram and watch for Megan's YouTube channel coming up soon. Hey, if you haven't noticed, these are nutty times. I want you guys to stay armed whenever and wherever you can with whatever you can. And until next video, OG out.